after all this time, welcome, man, woman, and child, to Tory's time.
Yes.
Tory's time.
Finally, a second episode.
I regret saying that. It's been over a year, hasn't it? How long has it been?
Probably 2 years. More, actually.
Over
So,
more.
is this actually? I thought we did a second one at some point. Did we not?
No, but it was
Oh, they
terrible,
never
so-
got uploaded. But this is the second one now. We're not going to speak of the second one.
Okay.
We shall not mention said thing.
Yeah.
So I'm Swim10.
I'm Me57TM or someone I know.
I don't even know who
And
I am.
that's
Actually,
Joe Hats, the G Hat.
in this
Yeah.
episode, I'm going to try and find out who I am. I'm like Abby from Misfit.
Yeah.
Right. So that's our plot so far today.
Well, we
guys,
got a
boys and
title.
girls.
Jonathan, reveal the title for us.
No.
Tell 'em.
Joe Hat finds his
True identity.
G Hat. I don't know.
No, I think our title isn't that, guys.
Yeah.
Why don't we come up with a title in the closing few minutes?
But that'll be
Because
like
our title
Jonathan-
is-
First a few seconds.
that'll
Our
be like-
title is
if everyone shuts up.
Because finding the truth. I don't know.
no. Why
The
is there
true
custard
identity?
on
No,
the
it's-
ceiling?
Yeah, it's why is there custard on the ceiling?
Yeah, that
Okay,
you
so
know
I'm gonna
that.
start the timer, and then who's gonna start talking then?
You will, Jonathan.
I will, of course. Yes.
I used
So,
your real name.
3, 2, 1. So, there was a boy named Jiminy, and he was walking around on his cruise ship. He just got on a cruise. He was enjoying said cruise. It was very peaceful. He looked around and he was trying to find the chef because he wanted to order something special for dinner. 'Cause he was really hungry, and he wanted his dinner. And he looks around and the chef was nowhere to be seen.
The
And there was
end.
custard all over the ceiling.
So, so thus began the mystery of what happened to the chef, and more importantly, why there was custard on the ceiling, because that ceiling was expensive, man. So,
The chandeliers, like the amount of custard on the chandeliers, it's
Oh.
just seriously the damage.
I mean,
was-
those are kind of irreplaceable. So he went to speak to staff, and he raised an alert because obviously the chef had gone missing. So this is obviously bad news for the cruise because, I mean, now they can't get their money, no one can eat, and this is bad news for the passengers, who will never be booking with insert company name here.
Cruise
So
got generic.
this
dot
is a
name.
massive catastrophe. And while the captain and all hands aboard were searching for the Swedish chef, Jiminy began scrubbing the custard off the ceiling when he noticed a trickle of something rather different.
Really?
Someone take on.
Joe.
Well, so what happened next? He obviously went to the staff, as you said, but then you went on a bit of a tangent. But when he went to the staff, he went to the news reporter of Cruise News. What are you laughing at there?
Sorry.
Anyway, as I was saying, Cruise News. There's like the Batman music. Is that? It's like Cruise News. And then what happened was, he said, "Yo, Mr. Cruise News. Firstly, what you need to do is tell me why there's custard on the ceiling, but not give me a definitive answer because we've got 10 minutes to fill, and we're supposed to find out why there was custard on the ceiling in the space of 10 minutes, so it shouldn't be at the start, because otherwise we'll go on random, unrelated tangents, like I am now, even talking about tangents. But anyway, Jonathan is going to say what's happened next if the Hoover hasn't eaten him up.
The Hoover. Unfortunately for our friend Jonathan, who is now nowhere to be seen, along with the Swedish chef.
Ooh.
He's nowhere to be seen, along with the Swedish chef. Anyway, coming back to the problem of the custard on the ceiling, which was now drying and becoming a pain to remove. As the custard started flaking off the ceiling in flakes.
The
Soggy
captain had to
lumps.
come down with a garden rake and start hitting the ceiling to get all the custard off of it.
He wasn't even
Float
hitting where the
down.
custard
Leaving
was.
no one at the helm. And
Yeah.
suddenly, a colossal wave hit the cruise ship.
shaking
And the
the
cruise
people.
ship turned 90 degrees, and suddenly everyone fell and was like, "Oh no!"
Spill my custard on the ceiling.
Ages ago.
So then everybody travelled back in time to try and like stop themselves from getting custard on the ceiling.
It's only one person. It was only Jiminy, or wasn't it Jiminy?
Well, yeah, there we go. We've just solved the mystery. What does custard?
No, we haven't. That's just
No,
one side of the
no,
story.
we haven't.
So they had to go back in time to stop
Because
themselves from getting
the
custard.
very
Yeah, but they
first
weren't
person
successful
to
because
see-
they didn't know how it happened. Sirhan,
No,
drag
no,
it out.
I'll tell you how it happened, boys and girls.
Not yet.
No, you won't. We've still got 5 minutes left.
That 5 minutes went
Uh,
quick.
Suddenly, Jiminy blacked out. The next thing he knew, he was... No, let's not go that way.
No, the first thing he knew,
70% of adults have never read A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
and he was like, "Whoa, that's a great book, guys. Why is adults need not read?" So, and then he realised that all of the Hitchhiker's books ever have been turned into custard and put on the ceiling. So he
But that's
can't
just
get
one side of the
anybody to
story.
read these books. So he's now fuming. He's charging around the ship, which is 90 degrees on its side, with custard all over the ceiling, and trying to find the chef.
But the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy being turned into custard and put on the ceiling isn't actually fully why there's custard on the ceiling. Everyone knows about Beethoven throwing the stew across the room. And
Well, yeah.
now there were some keen classical music fans on the cruise ship, and they tried to
Lots
reenact
of
that but had no stew, and so they decided to use custard. But it didn't actually hit the ceiling, which is
It hit-
interesting. And I think you might be able to tell that I'm trying to drag this out. But then what happened after they threw the stew and it didn't hit the ceiling was there was a sea quake. You heard me right, a sea quake, not an earthquake. Because they were obviously in the sea because it's a cruise ship. You
Sea quake.
idiots. And
What did you know?
why do you think that cruise ships are on the land? God, we've got such dumb fans. Jeez.
So this cruise ship that is 90 degrees on its side and in the sea, it's just had this sea quake. It goes flying into the air.
It does.
And crashed into by a Boeing 747. So it's out this massive hole in the cruise ship. And Jiminy's like hanging on for dear life at the edge. And he's like, hang on, this is a bit cliche. So he climbs back into the ship. And
Very successfully with
yeah, very
little
successfully.
distance from Mother Nature.
And then the ship is plummeting to Earth. I mean, sea. It's plummeting to sea. And
Is it not already
it's
in
running
sea?
around. And if he goes down to the boiler room because he needs to turn the ship back 90 degrees.
And
so
finally-
that it can get
He can confront Mother Nature, save the Swedish chef,
Mm.
and solve the mystery of why there was custard on the ceiling in the first place once and for all.
But we don't even
Because
know where
in
the
the
Swedish
boiler
chef
room-
is.
running around was the Swedish chef.
Ooh.
And he was really
And he had no
he was
guts.
putting whiskey into all of the boilers to boil up the steam that was powering the
Generators.
that powered the
The generators.
Cruise ship.
the generator that powered the sun, that powered the solar panels, that powered the cruise ship.
Yeah.
So he's found the Swedish chef now, and he takes the Swedish chef by the shoulders. He's like rocking him back and forth, like, "What are you doing, man? Why is there custard all over the ceiling? This needs to be answered now."
And I want my dinner, my special dinner for a special someone. And,
That's
me.
so the Swedish chef says, I will give you a special someone. But first, and then his head falls off. Because standing right behind the Swedish chef,
The custard
an axe.
monster.
Mother Nature.
Oh, okay, yeah. The custard
So,
monster comes in later.
okay, character description time.
hmm
We need to
Okay,
configure our new character for installation. So, Mother Nature is, well, she looks horrible.
hmm
Nice description, man.
Help me out. she has snakes for hair
Oh, nice.
and
Hairs for
The
snake.
snakes are actually seaweed.
color of bone.
Yeah.
Bone the colour of skin.
And she looks awful, really. And
Her nose looks like a Toblerone,
yeah,
and her mouth looks like...
Jiminy notices the massive gaping hole in the Swedish chef's abdomen,
And goes,
and then he realizes, looking at the creamy, gooey, soft interiors of the Swedish chef.
Mm.
The Swedish chef is made from custard.
Actually, on the, it was the custardy guts of the Swedish chef that he had been scraping off the ceiling with a rake with a captain for the past God knows how many hours.
Mm. But then
Finally,
suddenly,
he knew like there was custard on the ceiling, but then a white hole emerged.
but that wasn't the
And
only
loads
reason.
of snot flew out of it, and now there's snot all over the ceiling. And he's like, "Oh,
That's the
snap.
next
Where
episode.
did all these cuts of snot come
No,
from?"
we're
it's
ending
not.
it there.
There's 50 seconds left.
Listen, man. That's the end of the episode. The next episode will be called "Why Is There Snot on the Ceiling?" So I'm gonna end it now. Goodbye, everyone.
No, we just told everybody.
No, what we're gonna do? We're gonna have this really secret thing.
Why isn't there snot on the ceiling?
There we go. That'll be the
Oh,
next
yeah, time
episode.
paradox,
Sorry,
because of
everyone.
course they went back in time.
Yeah. This will be a two-parter.
Oh yeah, of course, because
Right.
we've got 25 seconds left.
Yeah. So let's just keep talking slowly until that 25 seconds is up.
I mean, really, if you, I mean, the social impacts of such a cruise ship having an accident out at sea could be potentially devastating. Not to mention the white hole appearing and
Yeah, I know,
destroying.
but the white hole that all the snot came out of, and then Professor Sus came out and was like, "Hey guys, sorry, I brought all these cups of snot with me.
But
They're
do you know
kind of
who came
disgusting.
out?
I've only just realised that now."
Do you know who also came
The-
out of that massive white hole?
You know. So the Elastic Plastic Bandit Man and
Him.
Professor Sus are like, "Oh my god, why is there this cruise ship which is 90 degrees on its side, got custard all over the ceiling, and has got a massive gaping hole in it crashing into the sea? Hang on, why wasn't it in the sea in the first place?" And that is the next
The end of this episode.
It is, because we've got no time left.
Out
So-
of time.
That is literally the end of the episode. Now go away.
Right from me, John, and Joe.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll actually
very
have a
nice.
guest next time, but we couldn't be bothered this time. I mean, there wasn't anyone.
We don't need them.
Alright, well anyway. See
Yeah,
you
that's the
episode.
end.
Be nice to each other, and
Yeah.
good night.
Yeah, basically.